on the special Valentine's Day edition. I'm Alex, and I'm joined by...
Christina.
And I'm Brad.
All right, and we're back here. It's been a while, but we have lots of things to go over today in the wrestling world. A lot of news, a lot of events, and a lot of speculation coming up for the future up until WrestleMania. So let's say we get into it.
Sounds good. So we didn't really do an end-of-year podcast. So let's start with who our top pick is for Superstar of 2015. Whoever wants to go first.
I guess I'll go first.
Yeah.
My pick, and it could be a couple of people here that think of the same. I'm going to go with Seth Rollins for pick of the year.
I agree.
I think he's just been amazing. Like, obviously up until he got injured, but even though like he might not have had the greatest storylines, his in-ring was never in question, and he always had excellent matches and always stole the show. Like, he's such a good in-ring competitor that like the fans would just cheer him, even like the casuals, just because like the moves he was doing in the ring were so spectacular that like he was just amazing on the mic, in the ring. I don't know, what can you say?
Yeah, he's unreal.
Agreed.
Yeah. Probably my favorite guy on the current roster, I would say.
So is he your pick also for 2015?
No. You can go next, though.
Okay.
Because I haven't thought of a pick yet.
So I originally was also going to do Seth Rollins. I just think between the cash-in at WrestleMania, which was incredible, his whole persona and the way he executed, being Mr. Money in the Bank and the J&J stuff and everything, I thought he was phenomenal. However, just so that it's not all about Seth Rollins, I'm going to say that my pick is Kevin Owens.
Damn it.
Sorry, Brad. But he also had an incredible year. His debut in NXT was amazing. Just his attack on Sammy and the automatic heel turn, winning the NXT championship, the way he debuted on Raw, which we actually watched earlier today against John Cena during a US Open Challenge. All of his matches against anyone that he's fought throughout the year are just incredible. He is well deserving of being my pick, I think, for Superstar of the Year. Brad?
Well, who do I really have to pick?
You can always go with one of our picks. That's fine.
Yeah, I know. I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to go with Seth Rollins, just simply because he held the WWE Championship the majority of the year. Mm-hmm. The guy was putting on the best matches on the card, mm-hmm. and like he's just phenomenal. I mean, I know that's AJ Styles' gimmick, but
we'll get to that later.
Exactly, we'll get to him in a bit. But yeah, Seth has been my guy pretty much since he won the title, or really since he turned on the Shield. So.
And plus, he had the U.S. title, too, for a little bit.
He did. He was the dual champion, which was pretty awesome that they allowed that. So that's cool. Yeah, both good picks. Yay, that's exciting. Well...
A lot of diversity there.
Yes, I know.
Whole two guys.
You can't tell who we like. Really.
But there's been so many guys that have been really great this year, like even John Cena. I know, Brad, you hate Cena. But
no, I was actually thinking of saying Cena.
You can't deny what Cena's been doing this year. Like,
I was actually thinking of saying Cena as a swerve.
Yeah.
That would have been a big swerve for anyone that
especially
doesn't
for
know
you.
Brad. Yeah.
But I mean, with the U.S. Open Challenge, like when that was going on, and I honestly I never want him to ever lose the belt because like just the it's so exciting just seeing who's going to come out. And even if it's someone that isn't like too crazy, they always do an excellent match just to put over the title even more.
9 times out of 10, though, it's somebody really cool.
Right.
Like Sammy and Kevin Owens.
Exactly.
Sammy and Kevin was awesome. Cesaro, he had incredible matches with Cesaro. Like, what, 3-4 matches?
He even had a great match with like Stardust and Dean. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter how high up on the card the person was. It was just they always made sure that was like a show stealing match.
While on the subject of Stardust, did we see Cody Rhodes' tweet the other day?
What did he say? Saying
that Stardust is dead.
No, he did?
Yeah.
Well, he just did like a Comic-Con or something appearance, and he got into a confrontation with Stephen Amell, and then like threw like a cup of water in his face and whatever. So I don't know if
There's something.
They're
I saw
setting something
on-
up.
I
Maybe
saw something
they're
on Facebook.
teasing something. Maybe they're going to do it something at WrestleMania.
I saw
I think-
something on
no.
Stephen Amell's Facebook about
Yeah.
WrestleMania or something. I
He's
think.
been training again. Stephen Amell has.
I'm okay with that because I liked.
Yeah,
that
he
match
was
last
actually
time.
like one of the celebrities that actually performed and
Yeah.
did something noteworthy. Like he was doing cross bodies, like throwing top rope to the outside, and
Yeah, he was doing crazy stuff.
You know what I mean? Like
for somebody not trained in the art of wrestling.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Okay, so from Superstar of the Year, let's go to Match of the Year. Match of the Year 2015.
all right. Well, let's start with Brad this time.
I agree.
We'll go backwards.
Okay, my match of the year for 2015 is The Undertaker versus Brock Lesnar at Hell in a Cell.
That was a great match.
Yeah, I like that match.
Yeah.
Christina, you seemed like you were gonna.
I'm not. Yeah, it was not one of my tops, but it's a good match.
That
it
was
was
probably my match of the year.
That was the best match of the feud.
It was
That was
definitely
the best.
It was
match
definitely
of
the
year,
most
'cause
brutal
it's
match of the
definitely
year.
not WrestleMania 30's match. That was terrible.
No.
Well, like WrestleMania 30 obviously was horrible, but then like even the SummerSlam one had like that finish, that ending with like
That's
the tap out and the ring bell.
Yeah.
You know, and
Lesnar flipped off Taker though, so that was kind of funny.
yeah, that was
pretty awesome.
that was pretty sweet.
But
I like that part.
yeah, the Hell in a Cell match was awesome. It was so brutal, and yeah, I loved it.
Yeah, that was awesome. Christina?
I have a few.
Of course
I
you
think
do.
I know.
Okay, well, we'll say what your first one, like your actual one is, and then I'll say mine, and then
I have
you know,
a
Okay.
if I didn't mention yours, then we'll go back to it. And
Okay, so do you want to do an NXT one afterwards? Okay. Anyways, never mind. I'll go
well,
back.
it's all encompassing. It's
So-
the whole company.
Ooh. Okay, if it's the whole company, including NXT, then I'm going to go with Sasha Banks versus Bailey. I thought that the first one,
Brooklyn.
that match, yes, Brooklyn. That match was the best match that they could have possibly put on. It was incredible. We've talked about it a million times. I'm not going to start fangirling about NXT again, but I think that match is deserving. It just the spots that they were hitting and the drama that was going on behind this, like when you can see the characters building up and Bailey getting her dream and all this other stuff, and then all the other girls coming out afterwards and doing the four horsewomen thing. I thought that was awesome. So my pick is Sasha versus Bailey.
I had two choices, and I wasn't sure. I was just whatever one was going to come out was going to be my number one choice. But one of them was Sasha and Bailey, because obviously that match was a 10 out of 10. No matter who you ask, it was that amazing. But since you mentioned that one already, then I'm going to go with the triple threat from the Royal Rumble: Brock, Seth, and John Cena.
Oh, that was a great match. I forgot about that match.
Those I think that's definitely, now that I think about it, like as amazing, and obviously like the women's match was incredible, but I think for for the guys, it's definitely got to be that triple threat at the Rumble.
I have two honorable mentions.
Okay.
The first Cena Owens match
Yeah. Oh
I
yeah.
have that down. That was one.
and
That was incredible.
Roman versus Brock at Mania 31.
You know what? I don't disagree with you at all. That match totally exceeded my expectations.
that match was unbelievable.
And then you throw in the finish.
Yeah,
but then you
that's
throw in
what
the
made it
finish.
unbelievable. But
The match was already good. Like the match was a solid match. It was way better than any of us were anticipating. And then you see Rollins' music hits and he's running out, and you see that shot of him from the back, running out towards the ring. Amazing,
Yeah,
so
it
good.
was
That was
sweet.
definitely. I thought that was probably my moment of the year. If I had to pick a moment of the year, it was Rollins cashing in
for sure.
Yeah.
for sure,
By far.
absolutely.
Not Roman winning the Rumble and The Rock standing there and
then
everyone
them getting
booing.
booed.
With the
For The
confused
Rock
look
to
on
get
his
booed,
face.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah, that's an accomplishment.
Not when Daniel Bryan got eliminated from the Rumble and then Goldust came out next and Shattered Dreams was sitting on the Titantron. Not
Yeah, no
when
joke.
that happened. No.
Daniel Bryan, no, not that. Definitely not.
Yeah, no, for sure. That is definitely a moment that will live forever. Except for the fact that he did the curb stomp to win, and they don't even showing that move. So every time
Didn't they edit it out of the
They,
DVD or something?
just when they have video packages, then they just
really?
show Rollins is cashing in, and then Rollins won. They never show the moves.
It's so
that he
dumb
was
that they
doing.
got rid of it. I love the curb stomp.
And he did it perfectly. It was so light. You can just tell, he was so light on them, but it just looked so devastating when it was
It
dead.
depends on who he was giving it to as well, because when he would give it to like Cena would like totally jump with it, and it like didn't really look right. But when he would
like
give it to
Randy?
Brock or Roman, like
Randy.
they were like, especially Brock. Brock sold it the best out of anyone. Like Brock looked like he actually was getting killed by this move. Like
That's because Brock is actually an amazing seller for somebody that doesn't typically get like he's the
Brock no sells a lot.
no,
but that's his character.
But he's really good at when he is selling. He sells.
This sounds weird, but the thing that I love that Brock does the best, he's the best person ever at it, and it's the weirdest thing to even mention, but nobody gets clotheslined outside of the ring better than Brock. Like when someone runs and gives him a clothesline to knock him out of the ring, he flies out of the ring. Like he doesn't even care about his safety. He'll go a mile out into the floor. Like he sells it so good that I don't know. It's a weird thing to mention, but I just love when that happens. Like if you ever watch a Brock match and he gets clothesline outside the ring, just watch how crazy he sells it. It's awesome.
All right.
Yeah.
Awesome. And speaking of people getting tossed out of the ring,
segue.
How about that Royal Rumble?
Wow.
Okay, I'm going to start, actually.
Wow.
Okay.
All right. So
how about that Royal Rumble?
Okay.
Roman Reigns.
Royal Rumble.
The Roman Rumble?
Was literally the best
you see that
Rumble
poster?
in years. No, it was the best Rumble in years.
I think you put it on my wall.
Yeah. I saw it too. So, best Rumble in years. Okay. The past few Rumbles have been awful. And for anyone that knows me, the Royal Rumble is my favorite pay-per-view of the year. I was so worried that this was going to be a giant, colossal waste of my time. But thankfully, the wrestling gods were listening to us that day, and they provided us with an awesome Royal Rumble. I loved it.
I was so happy with the ending of the Royal Rumble that I immediately ordered Triple H's new shirt after.
Oh, see, there you go.
Well, if anyone doesn't have us on Facebook, a few weeks back before the Royal Rumble, we were having a little discussion, the three of us and a couple of other of Brad's friends, and a certain two people stated that they believed that Triple H was going to win the Royal Rumble, and a certain someone else disagreed with us. He's got red hair, and his name is Brad.
I
totally disagreed with us.
I thought Brock was going to win.
However, we were right. So I wanted to just throw that out there that we were right.
I thought Brock was going to win. That was my thing.
Definitely thought that Triple H was going to
Brock
win.
versus Bray is going to be awesome.
Yes.
Hopefully.
Oh, it'll be great, man. I hope Bray goes over too. He needs a win.
I don't think
he needs a win.
He needs to win a major feud.
But
he hasn't won any of his feuds.
He hasn't at all. Literally none.
Because he never goes up against people that, like, the only person that he would have benefited crazy from would have been Cena, who wouldn't have gotten hurt. But, like, he's always been up against people that, you know, they...
You don't think he'd benefit from beating Brock?
He would, but is it worth having Brock lose for Bray? Like,
well, what about the Undertaker? Undertaker could have had a loss. It doesn't hurt his career at all for him to lose. Because at this point, the streak is
they
gone,
had
so whatever.
WrestleMania, and then they had his 25th anniversary.
I know,
you know
but
I mean?
WrestleMania, they had a great match at WrestleMania, and Bray had a broken ankle.
Yeah.
Think about that. Think about how good that match was with a broken ankle. They could have given him the push, and then Triple H should have lost to Sting. That was what was supposed to happen, but they did the opposite. Triple H beat Sting, and Undertaker beat Bray Wyatt. That was what my issue was with that WrestleMania. Because that shouldn't have happened.
No, it shouldn't have.
Both of those finishes should have been reversed. And then that would have been a really, really solid WrestleMania. But instead, Triple H wins.
No, they should have had Sting win, Undertaker win.
Why? The streak is done. Why have Undertaker win?
Because, like, if he loses more than once, then Brock's win doesn't mean as much.
That's not true. He's still the first guy to break this. He's still the guy who broke the streak.
He broke it, but then that means that, like, if Bray beat it, then anyone else can do it too. Then it just becomes like, who's going to be the next person to beat it?
It actually makes Brock look weaker. It has nothing to do with the Undertaker.
Brock look weak?
Yes, it does though, because
No,
that
it
means
doesn't.
so Brock beats Undertaker and then Bray beats Undertaker, so that means that Bray could beat Brock possibly because he beat the Phenom. I know, but it just makes Brock is supposed to be the only guy that could beat him at WrestleMania, right? That's the thing. I still think that the finishes should have been reversed. However, I know why they didn't because of that purpose. But anyways, so back to this year's Royal Rumble instead of WrestleMania.
Yeah, what were we talking about?
How awesome it was. So
The whole show was good.
the whole show was a solid show.
I liked
from,
the show.
from start to end. I liked the whole show.
Well, Del Rio Kalisto was meh, but everything else was solid.
I like
Even the women's match.
I don't.
You don't like Kalisto?
I don't.
No, the women's
there's-
match.
There's a rumor.
Well, the
going-
women's match, the ending was terrible, but
Charlotte
the
is terrible.
the feud was better than the Paige one because they're not like, oh, your brother, he died, whatever, and
Sasha came back.
everyone's offended. Yeah. Oh yeah. I didn't even think of that. I'm just talking about like the match itself, like what the in ring was and everything. The ending sucked, but then Sasha coming out after that pop. Oh my god,
It was unreal.
I actually had posted on Facebook that she had gotten the biggest pop of the night at that point.
I like
at that point.
At that point,
There was
And then
someone coming later.
We will discuss who came out later.
I hope they use Becky Lynch.
I hope that it's not
More.
Sasha versus Charlotte. I hope that it's a triple threat at WrestleMania.
It should be a triple threat. Or, you know what? If it is Charlotte versus Sasha, then Sasha beats her just like she beat her in NXT. And then Becky and Sasha have their feud again, like the way they did in NXT, but this time Becky beats her. Because Becky hasn't won anything. She didn't win anything in NXT, and she's not winning anything here. So
I think Becky winning the title before Sasha is
Blasphemous.
No.
no.
I'm saying that
I
she's
think
gonna
that
beat
it's
Charlotte.
better.
No, it's not.
Because I think like Becky would benefit more having the title. Everyone already knows Sasha's the best ever. So the title is just like it's
secondary.
like a period at the end of the sentence. We already know she's the best. But Becky, it's like
I don't
raises
agree with that at
her.
all. People would get really mad if Becky.
I don't
Why?
think
People
so
like Becky.
because people like Becky, and the thing is that
People like
Becky,
Sasha more.
But Becky already has a feud going with Charlotte. So if she beat her, which
God,
everyone
I hate
hates Charlotte.
Charlotte.
Who likes Charlotte? Like out there in the universe of the world, do any of you like her?
She's my favorite.
I hate you.
Did you guys know she's Ric Flair's daughter?
Ugh, God,
Really?
she looks just
Yeah.
like him.
I thought Ric Flair was her son.
she looks just like
It
him.
was her. Ric Flair was her son.
It's disgusting.
Was he Benjamin Button?
Oh, and he does that creepy dance to her song. No.
Well, when he
she needs
kissed
to
Becky,
go.
they edited out of the
Yeah, they took it out
Because
because
it's
it's creepy as
creepy.
hell.
because it's an
Because it's a 70-year-old
yeah.
man
It's
making out with a
creepy.
23-year-old
It's gross.
woman.
I'd be like, ew, no, that's gross.
Or however old Becky Lynch is.
Yeah.
I don't really know.
So every
She's pretty. I think she's like maybe like 26 or
Who,
something.
Becky?
Yeah.
I think so.
She's so hot.
She's not the boss. Anyways,
No, she is not. You're very right.
I know. So
Becky Lynch.
talk about the actual
Becky
Rumble
Lynch.
match. Oh no. Let's talk about the actual match. So during the match, what we do at our house is we actually write down the list of who we think is going to come out at what number. And then we have little competitions or whatever. So as we know, Roman was number 1. So we were trying to figure out who number
I
2
hate
was
him.
going to be. And it wasn't who I thought. I thought
Who was it? Rusev. It was Rusev.
Rusev was
Rusev.
number 2. So, which was the ending of the Royal Rumble from the year before. The last 2 competitors were Reigns and Rusev. So, but my number 3 pick, well, actually, he was my number 2 pick, but he came out 3rd. Didn't he come out 3rd? He
Yeah.
came out 3rd. Was the phenomenal one, Mr. AJ Styles. I'm sorry, I'm fangirling. I'm so excited.
The pop that he got was like
Deafening.
out of this world.
Astronomical.
Like it's hard to describe. Like the Sasha one earlier, I was like, wow, like that is like
Yeah.
Incredible.
outrageously loud.
Yep.
Like just ridiculously loud pop for Sasha.
AJ Styles.
And the AJ was
got-
like more than double that.
AJ Styles got a Stone Cold Attitude Era pop.
Like
he really
came
did.
out.
Like-
and,
It was
and the way that
nuts.
they did it with like
It was
Roman,
crazy.
they're showing Roman on the screen and they're not, and then he's kind of confused because he doesn't know what that song was. And then all of a sudden you just hear the uproar
Yeah.
of like the fans.
well, the
and
Titantron,
everything. Oh,
the
incredible.
Titantron's like they had another video that they posted on YouTube that had like what was actually showing like in the arena, not just Roman's confused face. And it was like the Titantron was like slowly like one by one be like I am, and then the word phenomenal showed up, and then when the phenomenal showed up, that's when the crazy pop
But his video
happened.
does that
But then
every
they just
time now.
yeah,
Yeah.
Well, that's what it always was.
Right.
But
We
they
didn't
didn't
know
show
that.
it. They just had Roman being like, "Oh, who's that?" Did you guys see that picture where it was like,
Yeah.
it's like Roman like confused. It's like, oh,
What is
like
going on with your
what's
headset?
It's like, what's that? I know it's falling on my head. I was trying to fix it. It was like,
It's like falling over your eyes.
all right, let's not deviate here. Okay, so then, so the picture is like Roman like confused. And he's like, "Oh, why is everyone cheering?" And then like AJ comes out, and then like the bottom's like, "Oh, that means something. Like that's what it feels like when someone's over and had like everyone cheering."
That's a low blow right
Well,
there.
it's true, though.
But he had a great showing
He did.
in that match. Like he was in there a really long time.
My-
and he
Who,
like,
AJ? You mean?
Yeah.
AJ,
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
Well,
He was in there at
like,
least 45 minutes.
He was in there.
I think they said like
minutes.
30 minutes or something.
Well,
Was it
whatever.
Jer-
That's still respectable for your
Jericho
first
was in there
movie.
for like an
Jericho's in there
hour.
Yeah, Jericho's.
He
in
was
there for
like an
almost
hour. He was the
Jericho
marathon
actually
man.
did a really,
My,
he was really good in that match too.
The thing I'm really impressed with about this whole AJ Styles thing is WWE's doing a great job of making him look like a huge deal. You know what I mean?
He is a huge deal.
Well,
though.
yeah, but like,
So it's
you
good
know,
that they're not dumbing him
WWE's
down.
but WWE's notorious for like trying to take things that aren't theirs and making it their own and putting their own stupid stamp on it. But they haven't done anything to change AJ Styles' character, and they've been hyping him up as a legend in his own right, which he should be, and it's, you know, they deserve to be commended for that, I think, because you know. It's nice that they're taking something that's already over and just leaving it as is.
They're running with it.
And
Yeah.
and the smart thing that they're doing is they're not letting him talk on the mic, because that was always like his, his
spot.
weakness was
So
like
they've learned
his
from the
promo
Roman
work.
Reigns
So
promo
like he
work.
hasn't, like he might have said like a couple of words here and there, but like usually like they'll be like, "Oh, the Miz is doing an interview," and then he just keeps pulling the mic away from him, so that we don't have any suffering succotash and
that crap.
and
The
what was it?
the Jack and the Beanstalk.
Jack and the Beanstalk.
Jack and the
promo.
Beanstalk and tater tots and all that garbage.
it's
Believe
stupid.
that.
I believe that. You know what? That was good. That was everything Roman
I
Reigns
like
should
it
have been.
too. I like it too.
I like
but like
believe
that's as much.
that.
Wow.
Wow.
I'm sorry. Okay,
Bo Rida.
Bo Rida is the best.
Hey, he's a social outcast now. Okay.
He's amazing. I love the social outcast. We're deviating again.
Every time they have the social outcasts out and Bo says anything, I immediately start laughing, because like he's so like, everyone will be like, "Oh, I'm the mongoose, the radical mongoose," and they have all these like charisma, and Bo would just be like, "We're all friends and we're gonna win."
And his voice is so like soft and like sweet. Yeah.
Squeaky.
Well, did you see when they were gonna
Horrible.
fight the Wyatts? Like, and Bo was gonna fight Bray. And that was the funniest thing.
Incredible.
But I don't think they actually actually interacted like them two. But it was just the idea that.
I
those
want
brothers.
to see the best backstage skit ever, where Bo Dallas just walks by Bray Wyatt in the hallway.
Yeah, like Bray's like in that dark room, and then
Yeah.
like Bo walks by like he's lost. He's like, "What?"
Yeah, he goes, "What the hell?"
No, what would be good is if like Bray's like actually cutting a promo, and then he like manages to pause, and it's like all you have to do, and then Bo Dallas walks by and he's just like, "Believe."
Yeah, like he
in
might-
the background.
Yeah.
It'd be incredible.
It would be pretty funny. It would totally ruin Bray's character,
But it'd be so
it'd be
awesome.
funny.
It'd be so awesome. I
He's
would
got like a
love
Bo
that.
Leave shirt on.
Yeah.
So, final thoughts on Royal Rumble.
Okay, one thing I thought was stupid was the way that the League I was gonna say League of Legends, the League of Nations, the way the League of Nations attacked Roman was stupid, because they pulled him from underneath the bottom rope and then beat him up and threw him through a table. Like, if you don't want him to win the match, just pull him out over the top, like they did with Brock. You know what I
Well,
mean?
and then-
like, I'm thinking logically.
Right.
Like, Vince is telling them what to do. Just throw
Pull
him
him
out.
over so that he gets eliminated. Exactly. And what else I didn't like about the whole League of Nations thing is that all these people were like supposed to be in the match, but then they weren't really in the match. So like you took away spots where we couldn't anticipate other people coming, because we're expecting Wade Barrett or whatever in the match, and then suddenly they're not in the match anymore. So like, why would you tease that someone's going to be in the match if they're not going to be in the match? Showing up and pulling Roman from the bottom rope does not count as being in the Royal Rumble.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I hated that anyway.
I guess.
Apparently no one else did.
no, but like,
I don't even think I thought that
But
at
then-
all.
I did.
but then it
because
was better
bothered
because
me.
there was, more
it's
room
'cause I don't
for
care about
different
Wade
people that you
Barrett.
wouldn't expect to be in. Like, oh, we're gonna have Curtis Axel and Heath Slater and Adam Rose and Bo Dallas in the Rumble. Like, it's not necessary to have 4 out of 30 guys.
Which one?
Well, do you remember the Royal Rumble from the year before when it was every other person was the New Day that was coming out and they just kept getting booed?
Yeah, it's like the New Day was like not even close to being over, and then everyone wants Daniel Bryan. Oh, here comes.
We haven't talked about the most important part of that match.
Of which match? This one?
The actual Rumble match. Dean Ambrose.
Yeah. When what?
First of all, for him to come out, he had a great match with Kevin Owens earlier, like fantastic.
Ambrose is going to get his first reign as champ this year.
He
I think.
needs to. However,
I think he's going to, and I hope he does.
There's a picture. I don't remember which one of you sent it to me. There's a picture, and it's got Roman Reigns, and then he has surgery. And then the next year, it's Seth Rollins, and then he has surgery. And then it's a picture of Dean Ambrose for like this upcoming year. So please, Dean, if you are going,
well, no, it was Roman was injured and he won Superstar of the Year. Then Seth got injured and he won Superstar of the Year. And then it's like Dean, it's like that face that he had when like when Seth opened the briefcase and he was like shocked in the crowd, and it's like he realizes that he's going to get injured this year.
Yes, so please be careful. But he had an amazing showing, and the fact that it was Triple H against Dean at the end of the Rumble match was incredible, because that was not the finish we expected.
The thing
we thought that it was definitely going to be like
Triple H against
Triple H.
The thing I love the most about it was when Triple H eliminated Roman.
And he
all the
did
DX crotch chops.
Yeah, that was amazing. That was awesome.
I love Triple H.
Yeah, he's such a good heel.
He's such a good everything. He really is.
I guess so.
I'm such a mark.
You're a huge mark.
I really am.
All right, so talking about marking out, we received some sad news.
I don't want to talk about
Monday.
this.
We have to.
No.
It's very important. We'll talk about it very briefly.
I am refusing to even acknowledge this happened.
Sit in silence.
No. Okay.
The one thing.
Sit in silence. Damn well know that's not happening.
So, of course, we're talking about Daniel Bryan retiring. Which it's obviously devastating for.
This is heartbreaking.
It's devastating for the entire wrestling business, like, honestly, because. You know, it's
even
just,
like Ring of Honor and stuff were tweeting out, "Thank you, Daniel Bryan."
Yeah.
Like this impacts all of wrestling. It really does.
Yeah. It's major. It's like an edge level retirement, but even more because Daniel Bryan actually, pushed boundaries and opened the eyes of WWE to consider smaller guys being at a higher level, in the main event and winning titles and think of all the guys that are in NXT now, because they're like the Daniel Bryan model.
Right.
It's like
all
the Finn and Sammy and even like guys like Neville and whoever. Those are like all like Daniel Bryan clones. You know what I mean? Like it's like that style of wrestler, that AJ size.
Styles himself.
Even AJ.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, like, he is so over. And it wasn't because the company wanted him to be over. They didn't give him his persona.
He was going to fight Sheamus at WrestleMania 30.
He was. Again.
God, I know.
Again.
The worst.
The first match got canceled. Then the next year he lost in 18 seconds.
No, wasn't the first one moved to the pre-show?
No, it was
canceled completely.
They didn't even have it at all. They had it the next night on Raw. Everyone was like, "Oh yeah, we still got Sheamus and Daniel Bryan coming up for like the U.S. title," and then like it just never happened. They're like, "Oh, now it's the main event." It's like what? Then the next year, 18 seconds. I don't know a moment other than Undertaker losing where my jaw hit the floor so hard.
Yeah, I was mad
when that match ended in 18 seconds.
You know what though? That match did wonders for his career.
Oh, that kick-started everything.
Oh man, as soon as people realized he was getting like pretty much screwed over, like everybody got behind him.
That was supposed to bury him.
Yeah,
and he got over more than they could have ever.
Yeah. Well, he said after the day after Raw, he had interviews with ESPN and with the coach, and he said on that interview that he did the yes chant basically to be annoying, and like having personally been to live events, there is nothing like that gets like deep down under your skin and just like is like the funnest, most exhilarating thing ever than to do the yes chant in a live crowd with that many people just like fully behind you. When we went to, I think it was the last time we went to Raw, he was there and he was out like 3 or 4 times that night. And then he was doing the yes chant.
It was a SmackDown.
Was it SmackDown?
Yeah.
So he came to like almost right in front of our section and was doing the yes chant, and he was facing us. And that was just like something else.
It wasn't even something that was on TV.
It was like after the credits, he came like
he just was walking by and he just started a yes chant, and the whole crowd was going crazy in the section.
Was incredible, and that just shows like the amount of heart and just emotion that he invokes out of all of his fans. That's something that's not going to be replicated.
Yeah, here we can play a little clip of his
experience. I'm never going to forget it. I've been wrestling since I was 18 years old. And within the first 5 months of my wrestling career, I'd already had 3 concussions. And for years after that, I would get a concussion here and there, or here or there. And then it gets to the point when you've been wrestling for 16 years that that adds up to a lot of concussions. And it gets to a point where they tell you that you can't wrestle anymore. And for a long time, I fought that.
Little snippet there of his retirement speech.
The most emotional part of his speech, though, was when, and I knew he was leading up to that point, is when he talked about his dad being in the crowd, and then that his mom was there, but on the other side, and they were, in Washington, and just, oh my God, that was like heart wrenching, because that like he's connecting with people like in a way that no one else has ever connected, and on an extremely personal level in front of that many people on live air. Incredible. Hats off to you, Daniel Bryan. You're certainly going to be missed.
And yet somehow he's such a dork that he still manages
he's such a dork.
He's still
like a little lumberjack.
He's still yes. Let me finish.
Okay.
He somehow manages to slip a "that's what she said" joke into his retirement speech.
Yeah, he did.
As he's got everybody crying in the arena.
Amazing. Yeah.
That's what Bree says all the time.
So, just off the top of your heads, like any particular matches you want to mention of Daniel Bryan's?
Bryan and Punk over the limit 2012.
Oh, yes. That's a great match, obviously, for many reasons. For me, I'm going to say my favorite match is Daniel Bryan versus Randy Orton at Night of Champions. We were there. He won the belt, and he actually took the belt home that day. Whereas the last time he had won it, that was the match with the fast count, if anyone doesn't remember. But the last time he had won it was SummerSlam, and that's when they had reversed it, or that's when Randy cashed in, and beat him for it. And then we saw him take the belt home that night, and that was incredible.
Mm-hmm. A match that I want to throw out there is, obviously he's had many, many great matches. A couple honorable mentions, I guess. The match he had with Bray at the Rumble that everyone thought he was going to be in later, that match was awesome. Even though he lost, that match was so physical, and like they had a good, like pretty heated storyline going with that. So I thought that was a great match. Mm-hmm. And another match is not the main event of WrestleMania when he won, but actually the Triple H match.
I was going to say Bryan Triple H.
Yeah, that was a good match.
The Triple H match was amazing.
Although the Batista bomb into the RKO he takes through the commentary table in the triple threat is unbelievable.
And I'm not saying that main event wasn't also amazing.
That was probably one of the best triple threat matches I've ever seen.
It could be.
Yeah.
Honestly, like the last couple of years, we got some great triple threat matches in WWE.
Yes, we have.
And that was definitely one of them.
But it's the emotion behind his matches that really make them great. Like the Triple H match was good, on a technical level, but with all of like the hate built up between the two of them and knowing what's on the line, that he's going to end up in the triple threat, it'll end up being a triple threat if he wins, and like all that stuff going on behind the scenes as you're going into that match just fuels it, and it's just like incredible to watch.
Or even Triple H and Stephanie coming out midway through with the crooked referee. That actually like made me really upset when that happened during the show. I'm like, they're totally gonna screw him out of the title. I was so mad, but he ended up getting it, and it was awesome.
And it was well deserved.
So Daniel Bryan, do you think he'll be in the Hall of Fame this year, next year?
This year.
No.
Yes.
No, he won't. They're not going to rush him. They gave him a year.
No, they didn't.
Yes, they did.
When
did he retire?
Edge retired. No, Edge retired after that year's WrestleMania, like 2 weeks later or something.
Oh, okay. So it's just the timing.
I'm thinking.
Yeah, they've already got the Hall of Fame planned out already.
They could.
Like they have to. It's in a month.
They could do it this year, but I feel like it might overshadow Sting a little bit.
Oh,
because Sting's kind of been out of the spotlight, and then Daniel Bryan's in the forefront, so everyone's thinking Daniel Bryan. So I feel like if they announced him for the Hall of Fame, that it might make people forget that. Oh yes, and Sting's getting inducted too.
Is Sting getting inducted for sure? Has that been announced?
They already announced him.
Oh, that's right. I remember now.
Oh yeah, and Flair's doing the induction. That'll be a great speech.
Yes, it will.
Oh, maybe Charlotte will do it for him.
Oh yeah.
Let's keep Charlotte as far away from a microphone as possible.
Let's keep Charlotte as far away from TV as possible. I hate her.
Wow.
Oh.
Okay,
so we can briefly talk about this next subject.
Okay, so I am personally really angry about this, but anyways, that's here nor there. So after Daniel Bryan's, retirement speech, all the roster came out after Raw. So this was available on the WWE Network if you wanted to tune in after Raw to see what was going on after the camera stopped. So they all come out. They give, the standing ovation, the entire roster. Vince was out, Stephanie, all of them. And Titus O'Neil decides to grab Vince's arm and make some sort of a comment, a joke, a jab at Vince or whatever. I think it was ladies first or something like that. Yeah,
he wanted Stephanie to exit before Vince. Just to be polite, I guess. And it was also kind of a good-natured joke. Right, yeah, because, for anyone that doesn't really follow kind of Titus, like I have him on Instagram and stuff, he's really like about, motivation, and he does a whole bunch of charity work. He's very old school. He's very mannerly. Old school.
Yes. And, so he's not, it would never be something that was with ill intent anyways. So needless to say, Vince reacted terribly. He was really, really mad, yanked his arm out, all this other stuff.
Shoved him too.
He shoved him. And Titus was suspended originally for 90 days. It's been dropped to 60 now.
He's still missing WrestleMania.
But he's missing WrestleMania. And there's a lot of heat, a lot of rumors going on around this. So I was reading an article that stated that they're using Titus kind of as an example for everybody else backstage, because there's been a lot of people that are kind of acting goofy and kind of, towing the line a little bit in terms of what their behavior has become. And Vince wants more of a professional atmosphere, etc. So they're using Titus as basically an example for everybody else to kind of see what their behavior could entail. I think that 60 days, I thought 90 days was obviously ludicrous. I think 60 days is just as stupid for it, because had it been somebody else, maybe. But considering who it's coming from, this is the number 2 guy in terms of charity work. He's the guy, though, that does the charity work on his own. He's not doing it through Make-A-Wish. He's not doing it through the company. He's taking time out of his own life in order to go do this on his own. Doesn't need the recognition, doesn't want the recognition. It's just who he is as a person. They were in Houston, I think, a few weeks ago, and he literally went to a school and took an entire class of kids to Raw. That came out of his own pocket. He didn't have, WWE provide, comp seats or anything like that. So to have that harsh of a punishment for somebody that's really kind of just a good guy that, was trying to just kind of joke around and lighten the mood a little bit considering how depressed everyone was, completely so angry.
Actually, I think this kind of goes back to something, because I was listening to this on the way down to Windsor the other day. I was re-listening to CM Punk's Art of Wrestling podcast, and he mentions in there that everybody is terrified to do anything in the WWE locker room for fear of, ticking off the wrong people.
That's true. Actually, I forgot that he said that.
Like he says, like it's a very, fear-based environment pretty much. And you know what? It's crap like this that, makes me think he's kind of right. Like, you're really going to suspend a guy for 90 days? Oh, sorry, it's reduced to 60 now. But you're going to suspend a guy for that long just for grabbing your arm to tell you to be polite and let your daughter go before you?
Yeah.
And like, that's the length of your second wellness test failure.
Yeah.
If you're like fail a drug test twice,
Yeah.
you get suspended for 60
That's
days.
absolutely ludicrous.
Grabbed Vince's arm and said, "Ladies first," and like you can see him kind of like.
He's joking.
The way his body language is, like,
it was
he was
very
goofing
light.
around.
He was relaxed. He wasn't. And then Vince whipped his arm, and then and we were watching, and we're like, "What just happened?" We didn't even realize it was Titus at first.
No,
because we're like what just had? Did someone trip? Like, we had no idea what was going on. And then the next day is when it's announced that he's suspended. And then all he posted, and then this is a class act that Titus O'Neil is. Okay, he posted on his Instagram about being a humble man and taking his punishment as it was given.
Yeah.
Didn't
complain about it.
The company,
didn't say
about
anything
the length
about
of
it.
time, nothing. He took it like a man, and it's just
they were thinking of releasing him for that.
which
believe
is
it or not.
ludicrous.
I
Yeah,
saw a
they were.
report.
Come on.
And they said
ludicrous.
it was actually talked about possibly releasing him for that incident.
And then what did Batista tell him?
And then Batista even
Batista
wrote to him
told
on
him
Twitter
to
and
ask for his release.
He told him to get released.
Because he should at that point. That's ridiculous. You're breaking your back for your boss and your company, doing all that charity work and stuff
Exactly.
outside of company interests. Like they're not, like Christina said, they're not telling him to go out and do that. He's doing it on his own time as a goodwill ambassador to the company, and you're going to treat him like that just because he told you to have some manners.
Right.
And he's over. Like, they don't use him very often, but when he comes out, he gets a great reaction every time. He looked amazing when he did the Shop Zone commercial and was holding the belt.
It's 'cause
he's underutilized. So Alex actually had mentioned, as we were on our way here to the podcast, an idea for how they can possibly turn around this crap storm that they've created. Alex, do you want to share that? I'm so mad right now.
There's just a simple idea. Just have him come back and have him feud with the Authority. That's what I thought.
Yeah, he
just
could,
have him come back
with,
and
Roman
have
Dean.
and then make it be like, oh yeah, mention it. Be like, in case you guys didn't know, Titus was suspended because he touched whatever. He had a confrontation with Mr. McMahon, and he got suspended. And then they could have Stephanie and Triple H, try and give him a hard time and have him face I keep saying League of Legends,
League of Nations.
Well, League of Legends is a video game. And then just have him, feud with the Authority in a mid-card feud or something.
You think the Authority's going to take a mid-card feud?
Like Sheamus and Rusev?
Yeah, they would.
They're not even main event right now.
League of Nations people?
The League of Nations isn't part of the Authority.
They pretty much are. They're like
the new J&J.
We had this discussion last podcast. I said, aren't they part of the Authority? And you guys are like, no, they're their own stable.
They were still brand new, but they've definitely. Didn't you see McMahon is ordering them throw
what to
Romans
do during
to a
the
table?
Rumble? Yeah, they are like the bad faction that the Authority goes to when they need something done. Because think about who's okay, you've got Sheamus, Wade Barrett, Rusev, and someone else. Who's the other guy?
Del Rio.
I was like, who's
the other guy?
Anyways, Del Rio. But at least Sheamus, he's hardcore. He'll kill you. So I would want him in my back pocket. That's what they're doing. It's they're in their back pocket. They don't really interfere with them unless they need something done. Then suddenly, you're going to fight Sheamus or you're going to fight Rusev or whatever. So they're just in their back pocket.
Okay.
All right. So I think that's enough on that topic. So today is February 14th, Valentine's Day.
How romantic.
So I have two things I want to mention. First, I'm going to talk about what has happened on this day in WWE history. One thing is, to me, I always just knew. And another thing was a surprise that I read today. So let me just bring it up here on my phone. Okay, 17 years ago today.
Ew.
So start
1999?
dating yourselves. Yep.
Yeah.
St. Valentine's Day Massacre.
One of my favorite pay-per-views of all
WWE
time.
pay-per-view.
The debut of The Big Show.
There you go. The debut of Paul White, The Big Show, in the main event, which featured Stone Cold against Vince McMahon in a steel cage.
That's disgusting that was 17 years ago. Ew.
One of my favorite pay-per-views
What
ever.
I would like to know is how many heel / babyface turns have we seen in 17 years?
I'm just gonna call Big Show like Mr. like flip a coin because
He
like
really
you
is.
never
Seriously.
know what he's gonna do.
He flips a coin. That's what his alignment is when he walks through the curtain that night.
Like even in the
Tonight, I'm good.
yeah, if he's wearing a toque, he's probably good. If he's gonna just come out and whatever, you know what I mean? Like he does like the most minor body language, emotions and it just tells you, oh, he's a heel tonight. He's a babyface
Yeah,
tonight.
he's
even in the one video game, like in his entrance, he's all like slapping 5, and then at one point he like stops and stares at a fan. So like Christina's watching the one day and she's just like, oh, I think he just turned heel.
Like he did, because then he like walked by, didn't slap anyone's hands or anything. Usually he does.
He needs to retire.
Oh, he needs to retire. He's gonna have that speech again. And he had a couple months
so
ago.
does Kane.
I love Kane.
No, you don't.
Okay. So that was the first of 2 things on this day. The second thing on this day, 5 years ago today,
Ooh.
from Anaheim, California on Raw.
Wait, can I guess?
No.
No.
Let me guess. I know
No.
I just want to say it.
Okay,
it.
say
Want to
it.
guess?
No.
We were introduced to the host of WrestleMania
Yep.
27,
That was my guess.
The Rock. And that was The Rock's big return since 2004?
He came back on
When
Valentine's
he came
Day.
back home.
2004, I think.
How romantic.
Yeah, and he never left again.
Yeah.
And then he left.
And then he left.
Again.
Yeah, it's like, I'm never leaving. And then the next week, via satellite.
I'm never leaving again. And then he left.
Yeah, but
Again.
even he got heat. So when he was on Raw a few weeks ago, he got massive heat because he ad-libbed a whole
Because he was
bunch
talking
of
about
stuff.
drugs and
Yeah,
Hulk
and
Hogan.
Vince was,
and
like, losing his mind. Yeah, pointing out
It's The Rock,
Hulk
though.
Hogan guy in the crowd.
that's what they're saying. They like, I was
The
reading
Rock
things
gets away
saying
with it.
it was literally like, if it was anyone else, like if like
If it
whoever.
would have been
If it was Titus O'Neil, he would have been fired.
fired.
He would have been fired.
He would've
Anyone
been-
else would have
he would have
been
been
exiled
he would have
to a
been
different
murdered if
country.
he would have been
Yeah.
killed. He would have been executed on the spot.
Yeah.
So yeah, The Rock made his return 5 years ago
That's disgusting.
and never left, except every week since.
Yeah, really.
Side note. So
Shows up for his WrestleMania payday.
being that today's Valentine's Day, WWE has been posting some videos on their Facebook. And a very interesting one popped up just before this podcast started, featuring Daniel Bryan, AJ Lee, and CM Punk. So for anyone that doesn't remember, AJ was kind of flipping between all the boys. There was like Kane was in there and everyone was in there. So
AJ Styles was flipping between all the.
AJ Lee.
Jeez, he's really he is phenomenal, isn't he?
Yes. So AJ kisses Daniel Bryan, this like long drawn out kiss, and then Punk goes to leave the ring, and then he like jumps down onto the ground, and then she follows him out, and then they make out, and then she just skips away. And it's just interesting because I'm shocked that they would even post a CM Punk video period ever. I mean, they mention AJ Lee all the time, but to post a Punk video is weird.
Okay, well, on the topic of Valentine's Day,
I still think it's a work.
Well, he
Let's-
is having surgery, so let's not get on that tangent.
let's reminisce about some of our favorite WWE couples.
Oh, okay. I'm cool.
Okay. Can I start?
I have a great one.
Okay.
Macho Man and Elizabeth.
Oh,
Oh,
Yes. For
The-
anyone that's
the-
old
the
enough to
original
know, they
couple.
are-
Yeah.
they are
the original
ultimate.
couple.
They are like romance defined, just like on a higher level. I'm like so happy just even talking about them. I love them.
that's like obviously the original and the ultimate one. I'll say one that stood the test of time. Triple H and Stephanie
Yeah,
McMahon.
my favorites.
That's
my favorite.
That's
like the
right.
Macho Man one is like the like nostalgia and like all the
when
glory
they got
days.
back when they got
and-
back together at
When he lifts
WrestleMania
her,
7,
when
was
he
it?
lifts her like on his
Yeah, whenever he
shoulder.
like Macho Man like he lost like the loser leaves whatever. And
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, go on. I thought you were done. That's why I started.
No, that's okay. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Stone Cold and Deborah.
Oh,
That's amazing.
that's an interesting one.
What about Sable and Mark Marrow?
Oh yeah, that's another good one. What about
Sable and Brock Lesnar?
Sable and everybody. Sorry.
I got a really good one.
Okay.
Go, Alex. You had one.
I was just gonna start saying stupid ones like my favorite clip ever from any SmackDown in history is Vince is looking for like a new assistant, and then they have like that Stacy Keibler came out.
Puts her legs over his shoulders, and Vince just goes.
But like that GIF or whatever of like Vince's reactions, like when you put that with anything, there's one with like Roman where it's like Roman's like flexing and Vince is just doing like the and all those faces. It's so funny. So that's just a joke one there. Okay, say yours, Brad.
Dawn Marie and Al Wilson.
Oh.
Ew.
Okay, here's a good one.
Oh, okay.
Kane and Katie Vick. No, I was joking.
I was gonna say Bret Hart and Sonny.
Oh.
Oh no, I was thinking. God, I just lost her name. What about Queen Charmel and King Booker?
Oh yeah, that's a great one. King Booker.
Luna Vachon and Gangrel, right?
Yeah.
Luna Vachon and Bam Bam Bigelow.
Or Marlena and Goldust.
Yeah.
That's who I can't remember her name. Marlena. Thank you.
Shawn Michaels and Sensational Sherry.
Oh, okay.
Oh Lord.
Or like even.
She was awesome. What are you talking about?
I know she was awesome, but I was so mad at Shawn Michaels for like screwing over Marty Jannetty. I'm still.
No.
But Shawn Michaels never would have became Shawn Michaels if he didn't do that.
I agree. It was awesome in the long run. And he did it on like Brutus the Barber Beefcake's like barbershop.
Yeah.
The barbershop window.
Yes.
Okay, what about Edge and Lita?
I was gonna say Matt Hardy and Lita too.
Oh, well, I guess we're gonna have a steel cage match now.
Yes, we are.
What about Test and Stephanie?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They had that wedding that Triple H ruined.
What about?
What about the wedding that almost happened? Billy Gunn and Chuck Palumbo.
Oh yeah.
Hey,
that's a great one.
It's 2016.
Yeah.
Why not?
That was good.
It doesn't matter if it takes 16 years, 15 months, or 3 minutes. Wait a minute.
Did somebody just say
3 minutes?
That was an awesome segment. Just blew everybody's mind. It was getting like national coverage, like in newspapers, like all over
I have
the country.
I have a couple.
Okay.
The Undertaker and Sarah.
Oh.
Oh. Thank God that tattoo got
What about The
removed.
Undertaker and Stephanie in the Black Wedding?
I don't
Cue
think
Stone
I don't
Cold.
think I don't think it counts as a couple unless it's consensual.
Okay, what about this one? Nikki Bella and John Cena. Please watch Total Divas just to watch them. They're so awesome.
Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella.
But John Cena and Nikki are way better.
Seriously?
Yes.
Nina.
Nina. Who else on that show?
I'm just getting a look at death right now.
Brad is not happy with me.
Who the hell is Nina?
Nikki and Cena.
Oh my
It's
God,
their
you guys are
names combined.
gross.
They're like Brangelina. No, that's their hashtag.
Brangelina.
You're so gross.
That's their hashtag is Nina.
It's gross that you know
You're
that.
gross. What about this ultimate power couple? Vincent Kennedy McMahon and Linda McMahon.
Oh, okay.
Vince McMahon and Trish Stratus.
Trish and everybody.
Vince and everyone.
Yeah.
Vince
and
and
everyone.
Tori Wilson. What about the original Tori and Kane?
Yeah, the original Tori and X-Pac.
Yeah. Poor Kane.
X-Pac in China.
What about
Ooh,
China
Kane and Lita.
Triple H? Kane and Lita. Oh yeah.
X-Pac in China. Oh.
Disgusting.
I'm glad he got there finally.
I was like, what is he? What? That never. Oh.
Alrighty then, let's move on. Let's move on.
Such an idiot.
So as these two are collecting themselves,
Oh, come on, that was
there's
awesome.
actually Raw in
was
Detroit on the 22nd that we're attending. They can't calm down.
Actually, okay, yeah, keep going. I have
Okay,
something to add
so
to
we're
this, too.
going to Raw next Monday. So we'll talk about that on the next podcast. Really hoping for some good surprise appearances. We do know Brock is scheduled to be there, which is awesome. Hoping to see AJ wrestle. And maybe it'll be the return of The Undertaker. It is the first Raw on the road to WrestleMania.
Speaking of upcoming shows, I will be at the WWE Network live special from Toronto.
Oh, yeah?
Coming up in March.
That's awesome.
I just got tickets for the Ricoh Coliseum.
I think Brock's going to be there, too.
Yes, he is. I am
That's
very,
awesome.
very excited. We're actually pretty decent seats. We're standing room only. So
nice.
it's going to be really cool.
Did they say who he was going to fight yet? Or
I think he's fighting Sheamus.
Oh, okay.
I'm okay with that. I
Yeah.
think that those two would have a good match.
I think he's fighting Sheamus and Roman Reigns is fighting somebody else. There's 2 main events.
I just had a side thought. For anyone that has a WWE Network, you guys need to watch Ride Along. It's hilarious. Just seeing the conversations that happen between all of them.
Actually, the Edge and Christian show starts soon.
It does. Does it start
This week, I think.
after the pay-per-view?
I think so.
I think it starts after the pay-per-view.
I'm excited for that.
Very exciting. Speaking of pay-per-view, WWE Fastlane, which cannot just be called Fastlane. You have to say WWE before in case you forgot what company is hosting the pay-per-view. Predictions.
Ballsy prediction coming right now. I predict that Ambrose goes over Lesnar and Reigns.
Wow. It's weird. You know why? Because they're actually building up Ambrose more than...
Ambrose has so much momentum right now. I'm thinking WWE might go with him.
Ambrose, so you think Ambrose and Triple H? Or do you think that'll change?
Man, honestly, I don't think they quite... Like, I would love Dean to win, and I'm sticking by my prediction because that's how I feel in my heart.
Aw.
But my brain...
Wait, you have a heart?
I know, who knew?
No, I have no soul. There's a difference.
Gingers
right.
don't have
You're
souls.
right. I'm sorry.
But in my brain, I know it's more than likely Roman's going to go over. And that's fine because that's predictable. I've already accepted that it's happening.
That's our fate.
Exactly. That is our fate. But it would be so sweet if Ambrose went over both of them.
He should go over Roman, though.
He should turn on Roman.
He's not going to turn.
Although they're not going to have
He's
a
the
heel
number
versus
one,
heel main
and
event at
he's-
WrestleMania.
He's the number one babyface in the company now.
Yeah.
Now that Bryan's gone for sure.
Yeah.
He's the number one babyface. They can't have
Yeah.
him turn because they will be screwed.
They got to push.
So, okay. So, say Roman
Dean.
wins. And we already know that there's the possibility of Lesnar versus Wyatt because they've been building that up for a couple weeks.
Totally
Well, that's a
gonna happen.
guarantee.
So
It's gonna happen.
So who is next on tap to feud with Ambrose?
Well, he's got the IC title, so probably like...
Please don't say Ziggler. I don't want him to fight Ziggler.
I'd love to see Ambrose and Kevin Owens.
Oh, me too. I could watch them fight every week.
Exactly. I'd
but
like
it
to see
seems
that.
like
Bother
they
me.
paused that feud in there. You think they're just going to restart it?
They can
might as well
restart
pick up where they
anything
left
with Kevin
off.
Owens because Kevin Owens is such a versatile
He's a character that doesn't
character.
forget things either.
No, so he could come back and like even if Cena was there, he could randomly be like, I beat you, blah blah blah, whatever, and then just have this amazing feud with him again just for fun. So like he's one of those like I know he uses a pop-up powerbomb, but he's a pop-up character. Like he can just pop up wherever and feud with anybody because he's so good at it.
Okay, what if they had this match instead? Dean Ambrose, Kevin Owens, AJ Styles, triple threat.
I'd be good with that.
Please make that happen. Someone.
Or even have Jericho. They could have a fatal four-way.
No,
WWE.
keep Jericho as far away from that match as possible.
No,
Why?
listen, Jericho.
Jericho's doing really
is
good right
actually
now.
doing well because here's the thing
I'm
with
still
Jericho.
bored with Jericho.
But here's the thing with Jericho is the past like what 2-3 times he's come back, he's lost every match and then he leaves. This time he's winning. He was
he's got
in
an
the
actual
Rumble for a
feud
long
going with
time.
Styles.
He was, and that's the thing is like he came back for a feud with Wyatt, but
It was
Wyatt
terrible.
won and that was the end of it. So it didn't make sense.
Oh look, Wyatt did win a feud,
See, yay.
but nobody gave a crap because it was
we
Jericho.
didn't even remember. Because Jericho didn't have any substance wins behind him for a while.
Jericho
Now that
also
he's
sucks
getting them
now as a
again-
face.
No, he needs to be.
He's-
I'm sorry, he needs to be a heel.
He's
He's
getting
awful
some
as a face.
heel...
Tendency.
Yeah, like...
He's turning very soon.
You can
see
smell it. It's starting. Like it's brewing.
He just needs to talk to Big Show in order to figure out how to do that surprise heel turn.
Big Show can teach him how to flip real quick.
Yeah. Well, the trick is, you see, you just walk out and rip up a sign, and suddenly you're heel.
Sellout. So I would like to see that. So what else? What do you predict for the Divas?
What's the match?
I don't know.
Well, they got Brie against Charlotte, which
Brie ain't winning.
Is that the pay-per-view?
yeah.
Although Brie has some serious like emotional connection now because
she's
of Debray retiring.
Yeah.
Which is funny because it's like you think
Because she's the worst wrestler on the women's roster right now, pretty much.
No, she's not.
Brie's pretty awful.
She's not worse than Alicia Fox, and she's not worse than
I forgot
Naomi,
Alicia Fox
and she's not
existed.
worse than Tamina.
Naomi and Tamina are.
They're the worst.
I thought
Naomi, like,
honestly, I
walking
forgot
out.
Alicia Fox existed.
Okay,
She hasn't been on TV in a long time.
she was on Raw.
Oh well, I didn't see her.
Well, anyways, Naomi was also on Raw, and I wanted to punch her in the face, and I also want to shave off her weave. So
Wow.
I have a lot of hate against a lot of the divas right now because they're not doing anything. Paige disappeared.
Because they all have different color
Paige
hair.
is concussed right now.
Is she concussed?
Yeah, she has a concussion.
Oh, okay.
She's been wrestling like house shows
She has?
Yeah.
Then why is she not on TV?
because they got nothing for her.
They have nothing for her.
Put her in make it a triple threat for the Divas title. Her,
Side
Becky,
note,
and Sasha.
Also, you also need to see the 24 episode about WrestleMania.
What about Charlotte?
Ew.
I don't give a shit about Charlotte.
No, we don't talk about Charlotte.
No, you were like, just put him in a triple threat with Becky and Sasha.
No,
For what reason?
Charlotte won't even be in the picture come WrestleMania. Don't worry.
Okay.
You know what? I hope Brie Bella goes over
I want Ric
Charlotte.
Flair to win the Divas title. I feel like he's living vicariously through Charlotte,
He
and that's
is.
his way of winning the Divas title.
He's held every other belt in wrestling. He might as well hold the
tired of
Divas
her.
too.
I'm tired of her. I think that her in-ring
You
ability
really
is
hate
good.
her,
I
eh?
really hate her. I think in-ring she's good.
I don't hate her
hate
that
her personality. I hate her voice. I hate her look.
Remember-
I hate that she's a Flair.
Remember, I don't hate her enough. Or no, what did I pick last time we played Would You Rather?
Oh, it was.
You wanted the whole roster to be the whole
Whole
Divas roster to be Charlotte, or Dork the Clown replaces
you-
Austin, and I
and you
picked Charlotte.
You're disgusting. I
No,
forgot about that.
I
just
can't.
like you.
I need Stone Cold. I'm sorry. I need him in my life.
So.
His Twitter's awesome, by the way. If you guys
Oh yeah.
follow him
it
on
is.
Twitter.
No.
Okay, so they had WWE post like these like fake Valentine's cards like from the superstars that are all like in character. So the best one that I only saw a couple, but the best one I saw was the Kevin Owens ones, and it was like a picture of Kevin Owens and it had like to and from whatever, and then the message was I'll unblock you on Twitter. Like
Kevin
awesome.
Owens slays Twitter.
Did you see the R-Truth one?
no, what
Happy
was it?
Flag Day.
Oh
It's pretty awesome.
man, I actually want to see Team Golden Truth or whatever,
So do I.
like Goldust and R-Truth.
You think it'll happen?
I think that'll be a good comedy team,
They're
honestly.
so weird.
But that's
the appeal.
he's the new
They
Booker
need
T.
that.
It's the exact same thing as Booker T. Both black. They both have like whatever dreads or whatever you call those, cornrows or whatever.
I was watching an old match the other day. I forget what it was, but it was a multi-man match. And R-Truth, I think it might have been a Royal Rumble. It might have been this year's Royal Rumble, actually.
What, with
Oh,
the
where he
grab the
goes in-
ladder?
Where he goes in the ladder,
Yeah.
he climbs up,
It was this year.
and he goes for the money in the bank briefcase, and he's like, "Oh, where'd it go?"
Where is this?
And then they just eliminate him. It was so funny. I
Yeah.
love R-Truth.
That was this year's Rumble.
My bad.
See, even their like
This one's
comic
on me.
relief things in the match were good. They weren't that crap that we've been dealing with for the past couple years. Have they announced any other matches for this pay-per-view, or is there only one match that's official? Sorry, 2 matches that are official.
They've announced a few matches.
I don't know if they have a
I know
tag
that-
team match yet. I'm
they
sure the
announced-
Dudleys will probably get thrown in there
They
since they
announced
just turned
Styles
heel.
and Jericho.
Oh, did they announce that
Yeah.
officially? Well, it makes
Oh,
sense.
right. Yeah, that
Yeah,
makes sense.
I wasn't sure if they actually announced that. Yet.
I think AJ Styles is going to go over.
Yeah, well, yeah, he
Because
has
it'd be
to.
great if he won his first feud in WWE.
Yeah, because now him and Jericho they've traded wins, so
Yeah, this is their rubber match.
yeah, AJ will definitely go over. But like, it's not. And I've seen people being like, "Oh my god, I can't believe Jericho beat AJ. I can't believe AJ lost already." In this case, like, you got to have Jericho win,
Yeah.
so that when he loses, it means something.
Exactly.
So I don't know why people are complaining. Even Jericho wrote on Twitter because people kept complaining to him, and he's like, "Okay, well, either I win and you say that I bury the person, or I lose and you call me a jobber. Like, which is it? Like, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, what can he do? People can never be happy with anything Jericho does.
And the thing is, like, nobody would ever say it to his face either.
No.
That's why I
He'll
hate
punch
Twitter.
you.
That's why I hate Twitter.
He'll
I
punch
love
you out.
Twitter for Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
Because he slays it.
CM Punk has a good Twitter too,
Yes, he does.
because he blocks idiots too.
I know.
I'm so sick of CM Punk. Like, I honestly feel like he's never gonna fight in UFC.
He's never going to fight.
Dana White's probably scratching his head, being like, "Why did I pay this guy so much
Well,
money?"
okay, so
Yeah.
first he had that random injury, so then he wasn't training for months.
Did you see
and
the
then now
tweet
suddenly,
Ryback sent him?
Yes,
Oh, he
this is
smashed him.
incredible. And then as soon as he figures out who his competitor is, he mysteriously has to have back surgery from an injury he received in WWE from 2.5 years ago.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
No.
So that's not ever happening.
Christina, I think your boy's a little weenie.
He is a little weenie, but he can be a little weenie and come back to WWE.
No, I think he's a bit of a wuss.
I don't even want him to come back. I just want him to stay away from everything. I don't want to hear anything about him.
Actually, you know what? As much as I love CM Punk the wrestler, I am getting very, very sick of CM Punk.
The person.
The man.
In period. You know, the man.
Yeah.
I'm getting very, very sick of his attitude, and I'm sick of
Well,
how douchey he is.
Here's me calling you out, CM Punk.
Uh-oh.
Phil Brooks.
Oh God. What are the odds?
You
What are
are
the odds he hears
best
this?
in the world. Prove it. Actually do something. Because if you don't show up, shut up. Thank you. I love you.
Like, okay, imagine all this training he's doing
You're a wuss, but I love you.
and all the controversy. And, like, I would say I'm like 90% sure he's going to lose his first fight.
He has to.
So it's not even he has to.
No, but
He
I want
is.
him to lose.
How awesome would it be? Picture this scenario. This has been playing in my head ever since he announced his UFC contract. He loses his first fight. Vince McMahon and Triple H walk down to the octagon after and just stand there and stare at him with stupid smirks on their faces.
Or no, they should have Triple H accompany Punk's opponent.
Yeah. No, but think about that. Punk's just laying there beaten in the octagon, and Triple H and Vince just come down with smirks on their faces and just shake their heads at him.
Well,
Like, you're an idiot.
Well, here's the thing. So I mentioned earlier that they posted this random video of him today, which is so weird. Like, are they doing that as kind of like a throw into his face? Like, oh, Mr. Big Time UFC gonna do whatever. But meanwhile, your legacy is that your now wife kissed you and Daniel Bryan at the same time.
I think you're just reading too much into this clip. It's probably just some
Yeah.
like
I'm
like
not- it's
like
weird.
someone like
it's probably
me
just
being like, oh,
it
let's
is weird they
Valentine's
included him, but at the same time, Daniel Bryan and AJ Lee are in the clip.
But that's,
I know, but they could have showed
So-
the 18-second match with Sheamus when she kissed him and then he jinxed him and then he lost.
I don't think they're.
what
throwing
other
shots
kiss are
at
they going
him.
to play in the last couple of years that they can show on Valentine's? Ric Flair and Becky, like what the hell?
Yeah, really. Like honestly, I'm with Alex. You might be reading too much
Titus
into
that
that.
threw up on Michael Cole?
Yes. Where'd that come from?
Wait, Titus?
Yeah, wasn't
When,
it?
Titus? No.
Yeah.
Booker T
Was it Booker T? No.
with the stink face. When did Titus throw up?
No, Titus threw up.
Booker T threw up in JBL's hat.
Yes, but Titus threw up on
No,
on
Booker T
Cole.
threw up on Michael Cole. When did all?
Remember?
Yeah, but I don't remember
why,
what
though.
what it was. Wasn't
Why?
it-
Why did we bring this up?
Because I'm still mad for Titus, so he's on.
What?
Oh my god. Okay, I think
my mind.
There wasn't even a segue into that conversation. It was literally just, hey, so who puked on Michael Cole?
all right.
Because Kevin Owens always calls him out when he comes out. He just starts randomly yelling at Cole. It's amazing. You have to watch Kevin Owens interacting with Michael Cole.
I want to see Kevin Owens and Michael Cole at WrestleMania.
I want to see Kevin Owens.
For Michael-
Kevin Owens and Michael Cole.
Michael Cole's streak is on the line.
What do
He's
you
undefeated.
What do you guys think of Owens pushing for the Taker match this year?
That'd be great too.
I think it'd be
That'd be
But then people would be
fantastic,
amazing.
furious,
but
if
it
he didn't
won't
win.
happen.
No, because if he loses, it would just be. That would be the match where he has to beat him.
No,
He
he would
has
he would
to.
definitely lose that match.
Yeah.
Unless Taker was like, "Oh, I want to fight Kevin Owens," then maybe he'll be like
More-
considering losing to him.
Everyone knows the plan this year was to have Taker fight Cena.
Yeah, that was the
That's
plan.
out.
Well,
Unless
I don't know.
Super
They're
Cena-
really pushing Cena to do his Super Cena thing and come back in time.
They need him at WrestleMania
They do need him.
in some
As
capacity.
much as I hate admitting that, they do need him.
Yeah,
Well-
there's a definite lack of depth on that roster, so a whole bunch of people need to come back because this injury train needs to stop. Now even Finn is injured.
Yeah, Finn is hurt, which is ridiculous.
Well, hopefully he'll be back in time for the takeover before WrestleMania, because that takeover show is like the best show ever. Like, have you seen the card for that?
Yeah, it looks ridiculous.
Oh, it's like out of this world. It's crazy. It's so good.
You know who I really want to come back, who hasn't come back in a while because he's very badly hurt, is Hideo Hitami.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, me too.
But
I want to see him do the GTS.
He only did it at the
Just
NXT
like an
Live
Access
event before WrestleMania.
Yeah, it was like an Access NXT show.
That's the one time he's ever done it.
And the crowd went crazy for it.
Yeah, but he got injured like right after that.
He was in the Andre the Giant Battle Royal that night.
Hideo was in that?
Yeah.
I don't remember him.
Well, because it was on the pre-show.
Yeah, that was the year if you won.
Oh, right. That was it was
got on the WrestleMania
terrible
card.
pre-show, but then wait.
That was with Mizdow. He eliminated Miz, and then Big Show won anyway. So
Right.
it was, I don't know.
So stupid.
Yeah.
Speaking of wasted angles and talent, the whole Mizdow thing.
That's more depressing than Daniel Bryan retiring, I swear. Because he was like getting some of the loudest pops.
Even when he came out, was that at the pay-per-view?
That was the pre-show for the Rumble. It was like
reaction was
it was like him and Darren Young on a tag team, and he got a big pop, but I don't know. So
Darren Young's another guy I forgot even wrestled still.
Well, he split up from He Who Must Not Be Named for no reason.
I don't think Titus is quite there yet, but
I don't know.
How do you spell champ?
Titus.
That's right.
how do you spell suspended? Titus. The poor guy. That's such a crap reason to get suspended for,
I'm still
too.
mad. I'm still. If anyone's my Facebook friend, please read my rants on this because I ranted about it a lot.
Yes, she did.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens to that. We'll have some idea by our next podcast, which will probably be sometime between Fastlane and WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And then we'll see what happens at Fastlane and see how the card of WrestleMania is going to be building up. And I think that'll just about take us right to the end of our show here. This was episode 5, the Valentine's Day special. We got Titus O'Neil's music playing here. So for the Squared Circle podcast, we're signing out. I'm Alex.
I'm Christina.
I'm Brad. # free Titus.
Got 'em shook when I rise. Got the game on lock. I came to the top. Now I'm living a high life. Think you can ride with me?